Hey guys, welcome back. I got Belle here with me, and we are here to talk about what size food you should be feeding your ball python. Stay tuned. So when you're looking at a ball python, sometimes it can be hard to tell what size food you should be feeding it. They have a much bigger body than what their head shows. Seeing as how the food has to pass through both, people tend to resort towards the size of the head. Now that's the case in some snakes, but not for your bigger bodied ball pythons. So they have jaws that are non-fused, so they're not attached in the middle. So they essentially have independent jaw bones on either side like this underneath that allow them to stretch the skin in between them. There's a flap of skin that they can essentially open up so it stretches her further and they can take in larger prey. And they also can walk back food with those non-fused jaws that is much larger than their head. And typically what you want to go by when you're talking about a ball python is the same size, if not a little bigger than the girth of their body. We're going to take a look at the different size ball python size food they should be eating. For Belle, if I was going by the size of her head here, and she is a probably 2,300 grams now, and her head's probably the size of a fuzzy mouse. So I'll see Facebook groups where people show their ball python and say they're feeding them pinky mice, fuzzy mice. I'll just say in my experience, I've never had to feed a ball python a pinky mouse. And there's something to be said about pinky mice too. There is not much nutritious value there for the snake. Now even for a snake this size, this is a pinstripe that just hatched out about 2 weeks ago, and they will eat a hopper mouse. They are what I've had the most luck in getting a hatchling to start eating on. There's something to be said about the mouse having fur on it. It seems to give off more of a scent, I guess, than what a pinky does. And if you are feeding live, the heat, the body heat temperature is a little different from a pinky to a fuzzy. So Belle's getting away from me. So it's very important, especially live, that it has fur on it, because it's going to entice that instinct in the ball python to eat it, and then also the body heat, because they can sense that with the heat pits on the front of their nose. So let's take a look at different sized ball pythons and what size food we're feeding them. So this little girl only weighs about 65 grams. And she was the runt of the first clutch we had laid this year. She's a lesser. She had trouble getting started on food, and she is the only one I've had so far that I've had to feed a fuzzy mouse. And even then it was only for her first couple meals. Once she got going, we got her on to hopper mice. She just ate yesterday. I don't know if you can see that size difference in her belly there, but right around where my finger's at, she's got a nice little lump. And we're talking, for comparison, this is the size of mouse she's taking on. So you can see these are side by side, and she won't strike at this because it's still frozen. You can see these two are about the same size, the girth of her body, and then this hopper mouse for feeding frozen thawed. And she will soon be on fuzzy rats. Ultimately, we want to get them on fuzzy rats because that's going to be a bigger prey item as they grow in size, and you won't have to feed multiple prey items at once. So you do have snakes that will only take mice. I have had a 800, 900 gram female that was a picky eater, mouser. She went off food, and I did get her back on food by feeding her multiple fuzzy mice in a meal, but slowly we crept that up and eventually got around to African soft furs. So this guy is a blade, 100% het clown, het pied. He came out of the most recent clutch. He weighs about 117 grams and he is taking a fuzzy rat. So for size comparison, we got a fuzzy rat and we got this baby. And you can see he's a little bit bigger than this, but it's about the same size as him. You can take that a little bit bigger. So this is Sam. He is a Crypton het desert ghost. He weighs about 400 grams. And Sam is eating a rat pup, which is the next size up from a fuzzy rat. So let's take a look at how they compare. So there's the rat pup. There's Sam. So it's hard to show it here. That's about the size of it. Now if we look at that compared to the size of the head, again, much bigger. Oh! Of course, Sam would try and eat a frozen rat. You scared me, little guy. I'm not gonna hold this up in front of him anymore. Probably not be too good for him to swallow a nice cold rat. But you can see, as I showed before, his head is much smaller than the size of that rat, and he will take that down no problem. Sam is a good eater. So just for comparison, this is Sunny D. He is a Confusion Lavender. He is also eating the same size as Sam. So about 100 grams less than Sam is, but still the same size rat. So he's taking down one of these rat pups. As you can see that there. And then for comparison, there's Sunny D versus the rat. You can see. And very into the smells in the room as they have. Hopefully none of them bite me because I've been handling mice and rats. But anyways, that's Sunny D, 300 grams, Sam, 400 grams, both eating a rat pup. So for Sam, I'd say too, between that 400 to 500 gram mark, he'll probably start taking weaned rats soon. So this is Pennywise, and he is a Redstripe Russo clown. He'll be one of our star breeding males hopefully this year. He is taking weaned rats. So a weaned rat looks like this. For size comparison, Sam right up against it. You can see the size comparison. Very similar in size. So this is probably getting redundant, but just to show you. And then let's hope he doesn't bite me. But you can see the head size comparison. So that is his head right in front of the rat. And don't eat it, boy. He will probably stay on this same size rat for quite a while. And we'll show you a few more snakes that are on that same size rat. One of our favorites, Beatrice. Beatrice is about 800 grams. Beatrice is on weaned rats. 300 grams more than what you saw on Pennywise, but same size food. We'll show you comparisons. So, let's see, get a good angle of Beatrice. So, that's like the fat part of her body, thickest part of her body. And you can see that rat, it's a little smaller, but it's pretty darn close. And she'll eat one of these every week. And I'd say you're probably good with that up to 1,000 grams. Heck, I've even heard of people feeding their adult females weaned rats. They just feed them more frequently. So here's Cindy. She is almost 1,300 grams, 1,265 grams. She is a cinnamon het sun set, deep in blue, ready to shed, of course, when we go to show her. Normally, just a beautiful snake. Still is, sorry, Cindy, but I won't hold on to her too long. But she is also on the weaned rats. And you can see that's probably bigger, and she's somebody that if I was feeding her a small rat, I'd probably go every 14 days with her. But with weaned, I feed her every 10. So she's doing well. And that brings us back to Belle. And Belle is the biggest snake we have right now. She is a super lesser blue-eyed leucistic. Depends for her. Sometimes I will feed her a weaned rat. I'll kind of mix it up with her. But typically she's getting a small rat. And she is wanting to go all over the place. So this is, oh sorry, that's a medium rat. She could take a medium rat. It depends. Sometimes I give her medium, sometimes I give her small, sometimes I give her weaned. Depends. Sometimes she just isn't hungry and doesn't take it. And then some weeks she will. So as you can see, that's a small rat. Don't eat the rat, baby. It's frozen. And then the medium, this one's bigger. You can see it's a little bit bigger than her belly. So she can handle both of those. For size comparison, here's the weaned rat. If I just want to give her a snack, I feel like she's gaining a little weight, we'll switch to these, keep her healthy. But you have options. Again, don't go by the size of the head. This is what we are feeding this is the fuzzy rat, this is what we're feeding our hatchlings. And that's about the size of Belle's head. So if I was, I don't know if you can see that, if I was feeding her based on the size of her head, she'd only be getting this, when she should be getting something more like this. So for comparison, that's the two different sizes. So you don't want to underfeed your snake. You want to make sure they have all the nutrition they need. So, and I've heard of people calling me back after they get a baby and say, the snake won't eat. I ask them what they're feeding them. They're offering pinky mice, fuzzy mice, and I would recommend you feed, especially when you first get a ball python, feed what the breeder was feeding it. At least for the first few times you feed them and you get them established, it's gonna be a lot easier time for you if you do that. After that, you can kind of stray away from that and get them on what you prefer them to be on. But if you're getting them started, I would do whatever the breeder had them on, because that's what they're going to be used to. And too much change all at once for them is never good. If you do have troubles with a picky eater, sometimes going down in size helps. Sometimes going up in size helps. I hope this video helped. If you want more videos like this, please like and subscribe down below. We have a few things upcoming. We will be at the Tinley Park show this coming Friday. If you guys see me there, stop by. I'll give you some stickers, say hi. Love to meet some people who are out there watching the videos. And then next month here, closer to home, we will be at the Hiawatha Library at 10:30 a.m. on November 4th, showing some reptiles. Please leave us a comment down below. Let us know if you're going to be at Tinley or if you plan on going to that Hiawatha show. And let us know what you think. What size ball python do you have? And what size food are you feeding it? Love to hear it. And we'll see you on the next one. Bye.